Hi, everybody. Welcome back to All There Is. Today, I am recording the very first episode of Season 2 of this podcast series, All There Is, and I'm really excited to be back at the microphone. I have missed it. It's been about 2 months since I've recorded or published a new episode. I do have a business podcast called Here to Lead that I have continued to work on and record for, so that is out there if you are interested in that. You can go to my website, kellybargabas.com or weareheretolead.com and find all those episodes. You can also find it on Apple and Spotify and Stitcher and anywhere that podcasts can be found. And if you are new to All There Is, this is Season 2. We have a whole, 28 or so episodes in Season 1. And again, you can find those on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, and you can also go to my website and all of the past episodes are out there. But here we are today, Season 2, and like I said, I'm really excited to be back and to continue on our mission of sharing this human experience. If you are new to this podcast or it's just been a while since you've listened, All There Is a podcast where we witness the spectrum of human experience in order to connect, share, shift paradigms, inspire each other, and ultimately expand our universe through words. I love to write about the things that move me with the hope that they move you too. And I believe with all my heart that how we care for each other in this lifetime has an everlasting impact. This is all there is. And so that is the foundation of this podcast and what I'm endeavoring to do here. So thanks for tuning in. I've got some exciting topics, I believe, for Season 2. And I'm going to start today with a little story that happened on a recent vacation. At the end of the summer, my family and we did one of our annual traditions where we take the whole family to a beach house in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We rent one of those really big houses that's right on the ocean. It has a pool, and it's loud, and it's crazy, and it's amazing, and I did an episode about it not all that long ago called Life is Like a Week at the Beach, so you can find that in the list of past episodes and listen to it. But we just did that at the end of August, right before Labor Day. Not quite everyone in our family could make it, and we really missed them, but we still had an amazing time. And it was on one of the last days of this beach vacation, maybe Thursday or Friday, and I was taking the trash to the curb, and my dad was helping me get the recyclables out in their bin, and I was carrying the trash bag. And as we were coming back in the house, it was, maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. It was right around sunset. And as we were walking back into the house, I just paused for a minute and breathed in the salt air, which is one of my favorite things to do. It is my happy place to be at the beach. And I just paused for a minute, breathed in the air. It was a beautiful night out. And I turned around to look back towards the road. And if you've ever been to the East Coast or any of the beach towns there, you know that the sun rises up over the ocean. And of course, the beautiful view that you look at all day long out of the beach house windows, and while you're at the beach and while you're at the pool, everything is focused on the ocean, right? The sun rises there and it's just gorgeous all day, every day. But the actual sunset takes place behind us, towards the west, right? We all know that. When you're at this week at the beach, you're so focused on the beach and the ocean side of the house that you don't spend a lot of time on the other side, the front side of the house, facing the road, facing the sound, or facing where the sun sets. And so on this particular night, my dad and I had just finished taking the garbage and the recyclables out to the road, and I paused for a moment, and I turned around to look back behind me towards the west, and the sky was gorgeous. It was lit up with pink and orange and white fluffy clouds laying on top of it like a layer of frosting, and it was amazing and it was beautiful and it really took my breath away. And so I started talking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, Dad, look at that sunset. Isn't it so beautiful? Isn't it amazing? If you've ever heard me talk about my dad, or you know my dad is probably the wisest person I know, and he just has this way of dishing out wisdom in these really simple one-liners or sayings that he probably got from his dad. And, you know, I have a ton of them, and someday I'm going to do a podcast episode just about all my dad's sayings. And I find that as my dad gets older, he's almost 81, it seems like as he gets older, some of this, I hang on every word that comes out of his mouth, because you just never know when he's going to hit you with some amazing truth bomb. I love it. But on this particular night, you know, I was raving about the sunset and the gorgeous sky, and oh my gosh, Dad, look at this. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it beautiful? And he looked at it and smiled and shook his head and said, "Yep, it is. It's beautiful." I said, "Yeah, but really, like, look at it. Isn't it beautiful?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's all beautiful. It's beautiful here. It's beautiful where we live at home in Syracuse, New York. It's all beautiful." I don't even know if he meant to be so profound in that moment, but what he said just really stuck with me. And this was 2 weeks ago now, and I can't forget about it. It's all beautiful. And he's so right. I don't know if you're one of these people, but I am. Everywhere that I go, I grew up in central New York most of my life, but I've spent a couple of years in Boston. I just moved back from spending 4.5, almost 5 years in San Diego, and it is all beautiful. I mean, I love the view in San Diego. Couldn't be more different from upstate New York or from the Outer Banks of North Carolina. You know, in California, you have most of the year the mountains and the hills around you are brown, and you have the beautiful ocean, and you have gorgeous floral and fauna, depending on what time of year it is. In upstate New York in the summertime, it is green everywhere, and, you know, blue sky, white clouds drifting by all the time. And I've also traveled a lot. I've been to Kenya a few times. I've been to some countries in Europe. I still have a lot of places left to go. I've been to the Caribbean. So I've been to some amazing, beautiful places. And I'm always breathtaken by the scenery. My husband and I have driven across country in the United States twice now. We've seen so much beauty everywhere that we've gone. And, you know, my dad was right. It is all beautiful in its own way. It all brings something different to this beauty palette that, you know, we have around us all the time. But what really struck me when my dad said that is it almost instantly became a metaphor for me for life, right? And how everything that we see and encounter in this life is beautiful. And I know that's tough to think about and wrap our heads around, because there is a lot of things that happen in this world that are not beautiful or don't seem beautiful, right? Innocent people die. Babies and children go hungry and starve to death. We have people living on the streets of our country. We have social injustice. We have, you know, if you watch the news, there is bad news every day, all around us. But there's also beauty. And in all of those tragic situations, and in all of those tragic stories, and in all of the sadness and humanity, there's beauty. There's beautiful people. There is beautiful outcomes. There are stories of hope and victory, and stories of human survival that blows the mind, what people can actually survive and thrive after. And it's all beauty. And it just really struck me in that moment that whether it's a brand new baby in the high chair, it's new life, it's aging, it's the work that we do, it's getting up every day and looking out your window and seeing a woodchuck in the backyard. We have one here. We've named him Gordon. And it makes us so happy when we see his fat little body with the short legs run across our yard as fast as he can. And if we see a deer eating the leaves of our tree, or we see a fox prance across the front yard, tiptoeing through the neighborhood, it makes us happy. It's all beauty. It's all beautiful. Pretty soon the snow is going to fall. The streets will get tough to travel on. They will get muddy. There will be a lot of ugliness and fierce weather, but it's all beautiful, right? So whatever you're looking at, whether you're looking at a sunrise over the ocean or you're looking at the sunset in the west, whether you're just starting out or you're aging and facing the last quarter of your life, there is beauty to be found all around us in this life and in this human experience. It's all beautiful. I have a new office, and I forget where we were. I think it was on our drive across country. It might have even been in New Orleans, and we were in a gift shop, and I saw this simple little frame with a quote on it, and it said this: "I am going to make everything around me beautiful. That will be my life." And it was Elsie DeWolf who said that. And Elsie DeWolf was one of the first female interior designers and decorators. So she took this literally. And she had said, "I'm going to make everything around me beautiful. That will be my life." And so I found that quote in a store in New Orleans in April, in April, as we were moving cross country. And I have it in my office. So this is sort of a theme that was already being set up in my life. And then when we just went on vacation and my dad said that to me, just so matter of fact and straight, it's all beautiful, Kelly. It's all beautiful. Like I was a dunce for not realizing that. Like, why are you getting so excited? It's all beautiful. Don't you know that? It's kind of how he said it. And, you don't have to hit me over the head 3 times. Twice was enough. And I've decided that this is going to be my mantra and my theme for the near future. So I hope to make this theme a thread throughout this season 2 of All There Is. And we're going to look for the beauty around us. It may be tragic, it may be sad, it may be hard. It may require things from us that we don't want to give. It may take things from us, this life, this experience, but it's all beautiful. All right? So I hope you're along for the ride. Thanks for giving me your time. I hope you'll come back for the next episode. And like I said earlier, you can go to kellybargabus.com and you can listen to all of season 1 if you need to. If you've already heard them, then I just look forward to sharing some new material with you. And until we meet again, take care.